Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I am your host, the Report of the Week, and welcome to this newest video. This is a big release right here, and sometimes I like to play things up. I like to exaggerate, I like to joke around and say, oh, this is the biggest release of the year. But without a doubt, this actually is quite a large release. Burger King has finally gone ahead, and they have released the Impossible Whopper nationwide. And this is something that has been hyped up, not just for days, not just for weeks, but for months. As a matter of fact, they're interviewing newborn babies right now. They were saying they were indeed having visions of the Impossible Whopper while still in the womb. So this is big, okay? I just need to say that for the pure seriousness of this. This is massive. What is the Impossible Whopper, pray tell? Here's what it is. One of the big, I don't even know if it's the point where it's even like a trend anymore. This might even just be an evolutionary change in fast food as we know it. Who's to say, honestly? But either way, it's being talked about. It's big. It's popping up everywhere. You have a huge, I will call it a trend for the sake of for lack of a better word. You have lots of plant-based burgers and sandwiches that are kind of popping up. The Beyond Meat, franchise, the chain there. You have all sorts of Impossible derivatives and so on. Burger King said, look, I know we're a burger place, we serve usually the flame-grilled beef patties or the chicken sandwiches, right? We're a very meat-based facility. We are, though, going to cater toward those who would prefer not to eat that, be that for health reasons, for moral concerns, you name it. And thus the Impossible Whopper was born. It's like a Whopper sandwich. Comes with your tomatoes, onions, mayo, ketchup, pickles, sesame seed bun. Here's the thing, though. It doesn't have a beef patty. Instead, it comes with a plant-based patty. Hence the Impossible Whopper title. How can it be a Whopper if it's not really a Whopper? That's what they're trying to say. You can get this for $5.59, marketed as vegetarian, though many claim for it to be vegan. The one thing to keep in mind, though, if you're very hardline about this, do bear in mind that it oftentimes is cooked on the same grill as some of the burgers and chicken is cooked on, okay? You can, by request, say, look, I want it cooked on a different grill, and they'll, oblige, and they'll respect that request. So that's what it comes down to. But otherwise, it's kind of like the real vegetarian alternative. They're giving it a shot. Lots and lots of people are talking about it. Price for this, $5.59. And it was released today, and it'll be out until September the 1st. So I'm going to be figuring out what this tastes like, what it's all about, and we're going to go from there. All right. You can see it comes in its own special wrapping. The green for the plants, Impossible Whopper, it says right there. There I am holding it. It says flame grilled to perfection. Now look, I gotta tell you all a story. I was a little dismayed, admittedly, when it came down to obtaining the sandwich. I always like to say that fast food is a two-part deal, okay? You go ahead and you eat the food, right? The quality, what it tastes like. Customer service is a factor to it, right? Like, you don't like going to a fast food place and dealing with horrible, terrible service or anything to that extent. And, man, I gotta tell you, it was almost impossible to get the Impossible Whopper from Burger King. I have to just say it outright, okay? Went over there, tried to order it, and the person first and foremost at the drive-thru was so incredibly rude. They said, it's not on the menu. So, we try and say, well, could you check? All right, they go ahead, they're so angry. Like, they were furious. And I hear them, they're in the back making it, they're yelling profanities, they're throwing stuff. It's like they were in this literal rage. I couldn't believe it. and then you know, they hand the bag, and just go. You know, that's their reaction. So the customer service at this Burger King that I got this Impossible Whopper from was atrocious, probably the worst I've ever seen. If I were to rank that place as a level of customer service, it would actually get a 0 out of 10. It was the worst I've ever seen for any fast food place. Not only the disrespect, but of course the lack of professionalism and dignity as well. However, that having been mentioned, you can have bad service and you can have a bad product, or you can have bad service and a good product too, and you're kind of like you're running the gauntlet to figure this one out. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to see. But the first thing that I need to do is I need to carefully inspect this burger. And let me just tell you outright, I know this doesn't sound good, but considering the circumstances, if I find any spit on this, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to refuse. This review is over. So we're just going to inspect it, and we'll see what we have. But first, let me just hold the burger, or the faux burger, I guess is what you'd call it, up for you. Let me, I think that might be good enough right there. Move this to the side so I don't knock it over. Alright, here's what it looks like as a little bit of a cross section. Right there. And let's just inspect this. I gotta make sure. I'm really concerned. I am. You should have seen it. They were furious. I'd never seen anyone that angry over a burger. Or burger-esque, item. It looks similar to a Whopper, I'll tell you that. No, I don't see any spit there. It does have the mayo, the ketchup, the lettuce, all that stuff on the top bun. You do have your tomatoes right there. Got the tomatoes. We got the pickles right there. It's like a Whopper. Right, very similar to a Whopper with the pickles galore. Lots and lots of pickles. Okay. Got your onion strings right there. And then we have the patty that's not really a patty. You know what I mean. It's like, and this is the coolest thing about it, right? You can see right there. It's supposed to mimic the beef patty, but it isn't. It's not really that patty, which is fascinating. Fascinating when you look at it. Alrighty. Let me go reassemble it. I think it looks good. I think it's safe. Safe to eat. Alright. With that, I apologize for the delay. I'm excited to try this out, so I'm just going to go for it. The Impossible Whopper from Burger King. It's going in. I gotta say, look, I'm just a few bites in, and the one thing that I really want to try out here is the patty, right? We know what all the other stuff tastes like. We know what the pickles taste like. We know what all the other stuff tastes like, right? It's a special patty that's really the star of this dish. And I was amazed when I first saw it, like how much it actually legitimately resembled the burger patty. To the point where I was thinking, wait a minute, are they just messing me around and did they just give me a Whopper after all this? But no, it tastes different, but it's good. And that's what gets me. I'll get more tea after another couple of bites. I'm just going to try this directly. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest. I think it's actually pretty good for what it is. Like, what really, it's a little mind-boggling. The fact that they're able to take this patty that's just, of organic plant-based material. They make it literally look like it's a beef patty. I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, you sure that this isn't beef? I try it, doesn't taste like it. I'll tell you this, you are not going to get the two mixed up, okay? The flame-grilled Whopper, much different taste, okay? I mean, this has a flavor all of its own. And I know that's sometimes very difficult when it comes down to explanation. The best way I can put it, it seems to me like it's a little drier than the beef patties. However, because there's lots of condiments on it, okay, you get you do get the tomatoes, which are very juicy. You get the ketchup and the mayo and all that. That gives it that moisture that you need. There's no problems there. But the patty itself is a little drier than what you would normally see with their beef patties. Taste-wise, though, it's a very neutral flavor. The best way I would put it. I would say it's got like this rich, organic flavor to it. That's the best way to describe it. Again, it's like very neutral. It's got this little bit of a chewiness too. It's got a texture to it also. It's rich. Again, it's got like this organic kind of earthy type of flavor to it, but not in a bad way. Look, it's not like I'm saying that you're eating dirt or anything like that, okay? And it makes sense. It's like kind of like a veggie burger in that sense. But of course, I think it's done more professionally, and it gives for a really unique, interesting flavor. But I think for what it is, for what they're trying to go for, right? For what the point of this item was, I think they did a darn good job with it. I gotta tell you the truth. Despite the bad customer experience, the bad customer service, and the nightmares that I'm sure will follow having tried to obtain this, I think they did a good job at it. It tastes good. I'll definitely eat this up. I'll definitely order it again, to be honest. I think for something where they're trying to be more health conscious, they did a good job at it, and I gotta give Burger King credit. Sometimes they make these releases and they fall flat on their face. This one tastes good, it's really inventive, and I think for all the work that they put in, it did pay off as an item. I wish the customer service was better. I'm very disappointed in that, but for a product, at least going through that, we'll not even go there anymore. At least it made it worth it. Price for this, again, was $5.59. I would say that it's worth it. It's inventive. It tastes pretty good. So out of 10, I would give it an 8.2 out of 10. Because definitely there's a lot of uncertainty going in, but I think it was very inventive, and I think they just did a good job at it overall. That's all that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Make sure you check out my newest podcast at youtube.com/VORW podcast. This show is on Bigfoot and cryptids and all that stuff. It's going to be a really fun one, so make sure you check it out. That's all that I have. Take care, and I hope you enjoyed the review.